must realize you are doomed.
What's happening, everybody? Thank you for joining us. We are the Scoundrels. This segment we call Extremely Late Reviews. And we got a special one for you because everybody's so hyped up because Kenobi series is coming down the road and it's celebrating 45 years of A New Hope. But do you realize it's another anniversary for Star Wars? That's right. And then we're going to do a review on Star Wars Attack of the Clones, a 20-year anniversary. So I know it's highly criticized and so ripped up all the time on, but we're going to Rich rewatched it and we're going to decide, is it really the worst Star Wars film in the franchise today? Let's find out. Rich, so Attack of the Clones, Star Wars, here we go. So Errol McGregor's back in this one. We got Hayden Christensen playing Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
We got Natalie Portman back. We got all the main characters. And we got, what's his name? Christopher Lee playing Count Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go right at Hayden. You know, it's the first time I've seen Hayden. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the first time you've seen Hayden.
Yeah.
What'd you think of him, you know, just as playing Anakin? What'd you think of how he acted for Anakin?
Whenever you talked about like all the hate this movie gets and how it is some consider like the worst, is mainly because of Hayden Christensen, and
Yes.
he was I'm not even gonna say kind of rough. He was really rough in this entire movie, from the very beginning with his cringy hornball little comments he would make at Padme, and like it was just very awkward. It made you feel weird. And even there was like the scene where she was like, "Don't look at me like that," and he goes, "Why?" And she just says, "Because you're making me feel uncomfortable." So it like starts out very cringy with him, and then his acting is just it just wasn't good for me.
Right, right. You know, I feel bad because, yeah, we could blame it on his acting, but it was also the directing, He was told to do it like this, to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying it's not some of his fault, he was just being green, I think. But at the same time, they were okay in this, I remember they had a lot of actors who wanted to play Anakin. I mean, cripes, there was talks of Leonardo DiCaprio who wanted to play Anakin. Yeah, it's crazy. But
Wow.
George Lucas picked Hayden Christensen, and I don't want to be this segment to be bashing on Hayden, to be perfectly honest with you. But so let's talk about Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. I I like him as an actor. He did good as acting wise. I did not like this guy as a character though. And the reason why I didn't like him as a character, because they acted like he was a Sith, and
Yeah.
to me, he didn't remind me of any Sith. His eyes weren't, turning whatever red or anything. He really didn't have hate in him like a Sith was. He was just a politician. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He was just a
Yeah.
dirty politician, a dirty businessman, wanting his views. To his views, he thought his views was the best way.
Yeah.
But so I really think. What did you think of him? Christopher Lee as an actor and Count Dooku as a character
Well,
they
Christopher
introduced.
Christopher Lee as an actor has always been great to me. I mean, luckily that his acting was so good, because like I agree with you with the character. He seemed kind of like lost in between, like you
Right.
couldn't tell. And honestly, the best part with him was at the very end between him and Yoda. So like that whole fight scene was awesome. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like I didn't get the feel of Sith. Like it just felt like honestly, like you said, like a politician just gone
Hmm.
bad. So yeah.
Yeah. I didn't ask this in the beginning, but I'm just gonna ask it anyways. We're winging it, fellas. We're winging it, people. When this first came out and you're out there like me, couldn't wait to go see this because it's another Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones. What were you drawn to it? You know, as far as I don't know, the trailers drawing you to it, or you just drawn because it was just a Star Wars movie? What do you think of what caught your eye when you heard about Attack of the Clones?
Well, honestly, the thing that caught my eye was it's funny because I'll talk about Hayden Christian and like how I didn't like his acting, but it
Mhm.
was such a massive leap from Anakin episode one to all grown up Anakin. So it was just a huge step into his storyline. So that's actually what drew me in. I wanted to see like which how they were going to handle his storyline from since he was just a little kid in episode one till now. So that's actually what drew me to it.
You know what drew me to it? To be perfectly honest, with you, is when Obi-Wan said it in A New Hope when he mentioned Clone Wars.
Didn't hold with your father's ideals. Thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved.
You fought in the Clone Wars?
You know, I mean, that fascinates me because George Lucas had this all in his head from day
Yeah.
one.
Once a Jedi.
Yeah.
You know,
It was your father.
something I'm not, something Disney wish they had as far as a freaking plan goes. Um, but it just I remember watching A New Hope and him mentioning the Clone Wars to Luke at his house in Tatooine. And I was like, the Clone Wars, what's that? And that's the only time you really heard about it was those words, was the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And that's what drew me to it. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna see some Clone Wars, we're gonna see Jedi's fight, you know? Um, so that's what really drew me in. And so yeah, so of course I was a Star Wars fan, so I wanted to go
Yeah.
see it. So anyways, this story's mostly a love story between Anakin and Padme, and I understand that, but I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. Um, but I just didn't like their chemistry together. It was another awkward situation with Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman. I just did not like the chemistry. Some of the lines just didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay. And then I kept thinking, like, dude, like how old was she in episode one and how young was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, for for him. I mean, I know age has nothing to do with it, but it was just weird. Like I still was looking at him like that little kid because from episode one. How did you feel about their chemistry as far as Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen, and that whole, the whole love
That
story itself?
yeah, unfortunately the movie did uh I mean it was based around their growing love from episode well not even episode one because that was weird. He was just a kid, but there's just their growing love from when they're reunited in this movie
Yeah.
since he was a kid. But that's what I was saying in the beginning, like the whole
Oops.
cringy
Mhm.
flirting, uh, it was just an all around unbelievable relationship between them. Like it didn't feel real. It didn't feel like they actually cared for each other. And the time that she actually does finally kiss him, it just felt like forced. Like he
Yeah.
legit was just staring at her, and then it just took a while for them to actually kiss for the first time. It just didn't feel natural.
Hmm. Well, let's start with some negative. Let's put some good stuff into it. So my question here is, what did you like? What was some of the good stuff that you enjoyed out of the Attack of the Clones?
Uh, anything with Obi-Wan, because I love Ewan McGregor. I thought he was the one that carried the movie, in my opinion. And honestly, the fight scenes. I mean,
Mm.
how long have people waited to see Yoda in action?
Oh
And that
God.
scene, dude, I remember seeing that in theaters. The audience erupted. And
Yeah.
whenever he pulled out his lightsaber for the first time, I mean, it was just I mean, the theater went crazy. And I think that's what drew a lot of people, honestly, because they wanted to see some of these guys that they grew up watching from, New Hope and everything, the original three, and seeing some of those Jedi fight. So
Yeah, definitely. The action is pretty good in here. The battle on Geonosis was awesome.
yeah.
I mean, I love that with all the Jedi. Who would have thought we would see all the Jedi? I know people always talk about the old Republic where there were so many Jedi, or vice versa. There were so many Sith at the same time, but we're
Yeah.
so used to with the original trilogy, it was just they're gone basically, all the Jedi. And for us to finally see all the Jedi fighting together, and you're seeing all these bunch of lightsabers at once getting turned on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting ready to fight together.
That
That was just
was
awesome.
awesome.
Um, and then of course you had Mace Windu with his purple lightsaber, and I don't know why, but it kind of rubbed me wrong way that he defeated Jango Fett
I was just about to ask you
so
that.
quickly in that damn thing. I'm like, are you
Well,
kidding me? That's it already?
well,
I'm like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Not the fact that he died so quickly, because it's funny. It reminds you of Boba, how Boba goes out,
yeah,
or
definitely.
supposedly at the time you thought he went out. It was just like,
Well,
wow,
well,
what a.
after you watched Book of Boba Fett, you kind of wish you did just went out that way. But anyways, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you though, how did you feel about Mace Windu being the one that took down Django? Like, did you like that, or did you wish it was somebody else, or because a lot of people do love Mace Windu. A lot of people love him just because of the purple lightsaber. It's so different. But how did you feel that he was the one that took him down?
Man. Well, let me adjust my camera here. I don't know why am I so slanted over there. But anyways, you know what? But perfectly honest with you, I didn't mind Mace Windu defeating him. I just didn't like how he was so easily defeated.
Yeah, easily defeated.
That was the issue I had with it. But what'd you think about Tamara? I can't. It's so hard for me to say. Tamara Morrison playing Jango Fett. How did you like? I liked his character. I ain't gonna lie. I liked his character, Jango Fett.
Yeah,
Um, always wondered. I didn't find out till recently that he really was a Mandalorian. I thought,
yeah,
back in the day he killed somebody for that armor or something, killed a Mandalorian for that armor and just dressed up like that. It was just a fake one. But
yeah.
no, they had confirmation that he really was a Mandalorian. So that interests me actually more than Boba Fett ever interests me, but that's no here or there. But how did you think about Tamara Morrison playing Jango Fett and his whole character until the very end? How did you like it? Or
I
if you
mean,
liked it?
I enjoyed the actor himself. I thought he did a good job. He was very believable as a badass, and I liked how they did his whole origin little story whenever they first show him on Camino with
Mhm.
Lama Su and all that stuff. And um, yeah, I mean, I liked him overall. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was the action, like I said, was good, the best part of it, and the story went with it. Um, how the clones were made and everything, and we saw Boba Fett, as a little
Yeah,
boy,
baby Boba.
and you know what else I liked? We finally saw the Slave One ship. I know you're not supposed to call that anymore. I forgot what they're supposed to call it, but but I just call it Slave One because it was always called
That's
that.
what I remember it as.
Yeah, so that was finally in action. We got to see
Yeah,
that
that was pretty
sucker in
cool.
action. That was pretty cool.
I love seeing little Boba when he's like trying to see.
Yeah,
He was just
definitely.
so little.
Definitely. So yeah, that I enjoyed that aspect as well. Um, that it was the Count Dooku and the Yoda battle. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Piggybacking what you said, we saw Dooku do the Force lightning. We never seen anybody do the Force lightning besides Palpatine
yeah,
as the Emperor. And for him to use that and then for Yoda just to block it like it's nothing. And I just love
that
that.
was
Much
awesome.
to learn, you still have. I said, you
Yeah,
son of a.
you little bastard.
Yeah, right. Still, dude. You know.
Did that
Uh,
can I ask you about that scene? Did you feel irritated towards Anakin whenever he's like Obi was trying to tell him, all right, this is our strategy. We do this, and he's like, I'm getting him now. And he just like bum rushes Count Dooku and gets like knocked out. How did you feel
yeah.
about like that scene? Like did that like upset you, or you were just used to him just like going off the line, not even listening to anybody at that time?
Be perfectly honest with you, it was kind of I didn't expect it. I did expect it. I ain't gonna lie. I did expect it because he was just that's what the character was about. I mean,
Yeah.
it, I don't know what they were trying to do. I know they were trying to make him like have emotions and grow to feelings and leave the hate, anger leads to hate or whatever how
Yeah.
they say it. But he just was just an annoying, spoiled kid to me. I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe it. Like, and part of it, I mean, this is an open discussion. Part of it, could we say is Obi-Wan's fault? Because Obi-Wan instilled him that he was the chosen one. He kept
Yeah.
telling all the other Jedis,
Yeah.
"Hey, he's the chosen one." Well,
He
you
heard,
can't.
he
I
heard
mean,
all the way back
he had to have
from
seen.
Qui-Gon.
He had to seen all these things of him being arrogant and cocky and whatever, and just spoiled. Like
Yeah.
and he just reminded me of a petulant child. And could it be Obi-Wan's fault? I mean, for him to instill that in him and letting it go. I mean, honestly. But anyways, that's up for debate how you ever want to debate on that.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was oh, who was back and I totally loved it was my boy Watto.
Yeah.
Jedi, what do you say?
I was waiting for you to say that.
Watto was back. He was bad.
Yeah.
He was bad on his luck, but
Yeah, he
that
was
was
down on his
funny.
luck.
But for him to be there in Tatooine, and then you get to see a young Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that? Showing them on this episode here, on this movie. I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it. It really does call back to like the original 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like a little bit of fan service, for the original fans of the trilogy. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was cool. The show, and plus his mother, Shmi, the
Yeah.
whole death scene. It was like I was a little like, really, like she's been missing for how long now?
Yeah.
And then
That's
I
yeah,
know
that
it's
part.
sad, but it's like really you
And he
just
finds her like that.
that, and then she just is that really you in this?
Yeah,
Like,
that
come on,
whole
seriously?
and then she couldn't finish saying that I love you. She just goes,
Yeah,
I love and just dies. And it's just like,
yeah,
and then what he does to the sand people, and then he goes back and tells Padme what he did, and that whole acting scene it gave me chills of how bad it was. I mean, it's like I
oh
killed
yeah.
them, all of
The
them,
women.
the women, the
And the
children.
children,
It was
too.
like, oh
And I
God,
slaughtered
this
them
is
like
just so
animals.
bad. Like,
I hate
okay,
them.
writing's writing. I understand what you're saying with
Right.
writing, but there a lot of it had to do with his acting, dude. His acting was bad. I can get you can find a lot of actors that can say those exact lines and actually have feeling and make it seem real, dude. That whole scene was just like, dang, that
Yeah,
was
I hear
bad.
you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cringeworthy on the acting part over there. But yeah, I mean, I know this is so highly criticized, and everybody has it as their worst Star Wars movie, but I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed it for what it was. I hoping for something a little different, something more, better acting. Of course, who doesn't? We're always expecting something different sometimes, and lots of times on these movies because we're having all these imaginations like, oh, we think this is gonna happen. When it doesn't, you're just like, oh, okay. I mean, like on Rotten Tomatoes, it's the tomato meter is 65% and the audience rating is 56. But the question is for sure, after reviewing this and rewatching this, I have to tell you, this is not, for me, this is not the worst Star Wars movie ever made, because the freaking sequels by
I was
Disney
just about to say
are the
you could
worst
pick.
shit. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're the worst. They have no plan,
Yeah.
none. I'm sorry. I was at least entertained. Yeah, I had gripes about some of this, the acting or this and that, but I was intrigued in this story itself,
Yeah.
and I was entertained with the action. all through, including the beginning with trying the assassination with Padme, doing the whole cab chase, everything,
Yeah.
the lightsaber battles, just the action was good. I
Yeah.
mean, it kept you going, it kept you thinking, and it, and yeah, there was lots of problems with this movie. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but man, when you really look, and I can understand. Okay, you guys can say, well, what are you talking about? Force Awakens was so. You know what? I was suckered into Force Awakens because we haven't seen Star Wars in a while, and we
Yeah.
didn't think Star Wars was coming back. So Force Awakens got me because I never thought we would go. But if you really watch that movie, ugh, ugh.
That was still my favorite out of the new trilogy though.
Well, okay, that's not. How do you say it's still it's still okay? I don't
My
know how much
favorite
that's
out
saying.
of the new three. That's all
Out
I'm
of the new
saying.
three.
Yes.
Because it ain't better. I tell you what, and actually, it's not a sequel, it's a prequel. But the best Disney one they made was Rogue One, but it's
Yeah.
not a sequel. It
Yeah.
was already kind of written for them.
Yeah.
So, but that was the best Disney one they've done. But anyways, I'm not gonna diss on the sequels anymore, but I'm just gonna tell you now with the newer the sequels out and everything, I think this got a really bad rap, and I wonder if people can just go revisit it and really think, you know what? Really, is this the worst one? For me, I say no, this isn't the worst one. But before the sequels came out, I agree, it was the worst one. Rich, what
Mhm.
about you? What do you think?
Well, yeah, like you said, definitely now it's not the worst. You could pick between the second or third film of the new trilogy. That would be the worst, in my opinion. Uh, but at the time, I can see why people were upset, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, man. The acting was not good, especially from the character they made the main center point. Their whole love story was lame. The acting from Hayden was bad. It's just so I understand why a lot of people consider it like the worst because at
Mhm.
least with the third one, you get more story into that one. You get more story from how he became Darth and everything, and how he really fell into the dark side, Anakin. So I can see why people viewed this at the time as the worst one.
Well, that's what you have, folks. That's our position on this Star Wars Attack of the Clones Episode 2. But the question is, what did you guys think? Did you guys think this is still the worst Star Wars movie out there? Did it deserve all the criticism that it got? And did you enjoy it? And do you feel about the acting like we do? How cringeworthy it was? Please leave your comments down below and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. So this is for me and Rich. Take care, everybody.